Buzz with Jess Lujan.
Good evening, Guam. I'm Jess Lujan. Welcome to this edition of The Buzz. Tonight we're talking with, gosh, a mouthful of, of a title, right? The Guam Commission for Educator Certification. We have Leah Santos, who's the Executive Director, and the Acting Chairman, or Chairwoman for the Commission, Margie Otero.
Good evening.
Good evening, ladies. How are you doing?
Evening. Good evening.
You know, the past, I guess it's the past week, but actually this is going back 10 years now. We're talking about praxis and teacher certification. We're down to December 1st, when I guess 44 teachers have until then to be able to pass this. Mm-hmm. And over the years, I've been reading, I've been part of the legislature when some of these things passed into law, and the time keeps extending. But let's go back first and explain to our viewers what exactly Praxis 1 is.
Praxis 1 is a pre-professional skills test, and it tests basic skills in reading, writing, and math.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, okay.
It is a high school proficiency test. And right now, if you want to enter the School of Education in UOG, you have to pass the test to enter the School of Education. But before, Guam had this bestie test, and there was some problems. So in the year 2000, they had 13 teachers who took the original Praxis 1's test.
And they were chosen randomly, right?
Yeah, they must have been chosen from kindergarten to 12th grade teacher in DOE. And they took the test and they set the scores. So the scores were set in 2002. The scores for Guam is 173 for reading. You must hit reading. And then math and writing is 170 each. But those two are composite. So in other words, let's say you got 169 in math, but you got 172 in writing. So you can add the extra in your writing
put that over
to your math, but you cannot add it to reading.
You can add it to reading.
Reading is standard.
The minimum in reading would be 173, right?
Right.
You know, when I'm reading the standards in all the other states as well, I mean, that's pretty low. These standards are pretty low. So this is something, again, when you say this is high school proficiency testing, basically what grade level is this? If you were to take the test, approximately what grade level is this test based on in regards to reading and comprehension?
I would say 10th grade.
10th grade, okay, 10th grade. So again, you are giving this to teachers, right? This is teachers teaching elementary, middle school, and high school.
But let me backtrack. When they implemented it in DOE, they said, okay, effective this date, the incoming teachers must pass Praxis.
Okay.
So they hired these teachers and gave them certificates called professional conditional, that they must pass Praxis 1. So they knew when they were hired, they had to pass Praxis 1.
Okay, now let's go back a little because I've got the historical data on this thing. In 2002, that's basically when Praxis was implemented, right?
Right. When DOE, at that time the superintendent was Rosie Tainatongo.
Yes.
She signed the documents and sent it to ETS and saying, yes, we were going to take the Praxis 1, and here are the scores.
Okay.
So they set the score. That score has remained the same, no change.
Okay. In 2006 through 2008, DOE waived the requirement for passing Praxis, and it was done through a board resolution.
Must have been, because then that is when they issued the thing called a professional conditional teaching certificate, which was non-renewable.
For 2 years.
Right.
2 years,
but they became classified employees.
Okay.
Which gave them all the benefits as a GovGuam
employee. Okay. We jumped to 2008. I was part of the legislature back then, 29th Guam legislature. Public Law 2973, if I'm not mistaken, was authored by Senator Casper Bauer, right? Okay. That created the Guam Commission for Educator Certification, okay? And this one here, basically, it gave 2-year temporary certification to the teachers if they presented,
this was based on a board policy.
Board policy, okay. Yeah, if they presented satisfactory performance evaluation, okay, or they showed proof that they've taken the Praxis 1 at least 4 times but did not pass it.
Correct.
Okay, and so this was, again, back then, they were given this renewable one time. So basically, if you didn't practice it, you had 4 years.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Or 4 times.
Okay.
Take the test. Right?
So here, we jump now to 2010. DOE had informed the teachers again that they must obtain the education or the educator certification by May 31st, 2011.
Right,
Right.
but that means they had to pass Praxis 1.
Praxis 1.
Right.
And then May 23rd, the new rules and regs was signed by Governor
Public law.
31-50 was signed by Governor Calvo into law, and it requires you to have Praxis 1.
Praxis 1.
That is not debatable, it is law.
Right.
So those people now, if they cannot come in with, if they do not have a Praxis 1 passing score, we cannot give them a teaching certificate.
So let me ask you, going back to 2002, some of these folks that come in, so how many times have some of these people taken the Praxis 1?
Guam is very good.
Okay.
In some, there are states who allow them to take it only 3 times,
Okay.
and then they're locked out forever.
Okay.
We have no limit.
Right.
So you can technically take it 8 times in a year.
8 times a year?
Yes.
Yes.
So technically, if I was a teacher that hadn't passed since 2002,
Right.
I could have taken it 8 times in 2002, 2003,
Right.
2004.
Right. And some teachers have taken it a number of times.
Wow.
But it's not cheap.
Well, neither are our kids.
Right. That's correct. That's correct.
But anyway, we're going to talk more about this when we come back from the break. Be right back.
Thank you.